Hey guys, it's Israel Matson with Falconry Told. As obvious from the video title, this video is all about how I live with my Falcon in the living room. I just want to preface this though by saying my Falcon spends most of its time outside. Whether it's in the weathering yard or we're flying, hunting, training, etc. Most of his day is spent outside in the sun, the elements, all that stuff is very good for it and essential actually. But this video is about the time where it's inside. So most nights or times where I'm gone. The shelf-perch, which is what this video is about, is a super safe solution that is all about the Falcon's satisfaction, contentment, happiness, and all that good stuff. So that's what this video is about. We're going to launch straight into a kind of a how it's made tutorial of how we made ours, in case you're interested in making your own. But I'd also like to add, before we get into this any further, that this works with Falcons because they mute straight down. Now, a mute is when they poo. Anything like a red tail or a goshawk slices or sends it flying out there. And in that case, you probably don't want that in your living room, because this is really what it comes down to. Is it's about the Falcon's safety and satisfaction, but also about poo containment and the smell control. And so that's what the shelf-perch does best, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So the shelf-perch was an innovative way of accomplishing the goal of getting rid of the smell. And basically what you're using, as you'll see here, is a tray filled with kitty litter. And that's I just want to clear that up. That's a non-scented, harmful chemical-free, basically your standard kitty litter. Dust-free, that's also important to note, so it won't blow everywhere when it baits. Now the main goal of a shelf-perch is to allow the Falcon to live, whether you have your shelf-perch in the mews, the house, or some other facilities, it doesn't matter. The goal is to allow it to be unhooded and giving it a vantage point perch, so something up higher off the ground that it can spend its time where it will be much more happy and satisfied with its lifestyle indoors. So basically, the biggest thing about birds of prey is the fact that they bait or try to find another perch. And it's just it's almost like a natural habit. They want to move, they want to find new vantage points, different hunting spots. It's just ingrained in them, and that's never going to change. So what a shelf-perch does is it allows them to bait while landing on a surface that is good for their feet. So this is basically like a doormat or a boot scraper mat. It's like a stiff bristle turf, and it's really good for their feet, but they would rather be on something different, a little more natural, like your genuine AstroTurf or some sort of granite, or just basically a type of material that they're gonna prefer more. So basically this allows them to bait, find a new perch, but then decide, this perch up here is better because they like to be, if there's a chance for them to be higher up, they're going to take it. And so it kind of fulfills that need in them to jump and get their better perch, so to speak. And so I built this perch with the help of another falconer, Caleb Stroh, a couple weeks ago, and the design we use incorporates a lot of the fundamental details from other falconers I know that have been using these perches for decades. Some of the key points, just the basic dimensions, and we didn't get too fancy, but one of our key goals was to make it look nice. We don't want some just ugly raw wood just contraption thrown up on our wall. So we spent some time and made it look nice. And what we're going to do today is basically go through a how it's made video that we've kind of put together, and I want to show you what a week and a half of mutes looks like. As you can see, there's some casting, mute, the kitty litter could be stirred, etc. Obviously you might want to change it bi-weekly or once a week. You wouldn't want to go as long as I've gone, but I did that and I left it there just so I can show you guys what it looks like when mutes have accumulated. And as you can see, there are no mutes on the shelf perch, which is obviously key because you don't want to be having to remove this all the time to clean it. And what we've got in here is basically just a tray with the kitty litter that can be removed. And I've just got it on some crude hooks. You could put it on a sliders or a shelf or something much more fancy, which I'll probably do here eventually. And I also wanted to shout out Adam Davis of Tooth and Talon. As you may know Adam Davis for his aluminum giant hoods that he makes. Super beautiful. So definitely check out Tooth and Talon's, their website, and look into some of their giant hoods because he provided this beautiful aluminum cutout of our logo that's basically just the perfect touch to our perch. As I said, this has been 2 weeks worth of test trial, and so basically it's passed with flying colors, and I'm confident in showing you guys what I've built. You can expect this entire project to cost you anywhere from $150 to $250 depending on what materials and tools you already have on hand. As a baseline, we started with the 3/4 inch 4x8 sanded plywood and traced out our entire design on that, and I'll provide a rough schematic for the dimensions that we used. And so we traced the whole thing out and cut all the components out, hanging on to a lot of the pieces, especially those corner pieces. You'll use those later as the braces. And then we cut out the kitty litter tray from the center. This was probably the hardest part of this project. And then you don't want any sharp edges or points anywhere on this, obviously, and so you use a router around the edges to make them round. And it gives it a nice furniture look. And then we cut out the actual perch from this spare scrap. And again, this whole project is really open to your final product that you would like. And basically we just sanded off the pencil sketches. And then right here we cut out some indentions in order to make the back go flush with the edge of the shelf perch. And then we blow it all off in preparation for staining. Whatever color you use is up to you, but make sure it has some sort of poly for waterproofing for obvious reasons. And now we're making our corner cutouts all match to use them as the braces, holding the backdrop and the shelf together. Really focusing on pre-drilling a lot of these holes. So the whole thing kind of goes together like a puzzle piece, and it's kind of an awkward piece of furniture, so it's really important to use things like wood glue to really lock everything together. And it does take a lot of baits, which is just a slight vibration, but more than any coffee end table. And now we cut out and used 1/4 round to make our turf go flush, because you know the edge of that stiff bristle doormat turf can really catch on your leash and jesses and etc. And so making it flush, however you do that's up to you, is very important. And then I affixed the back to the shelf perch. Again, a key component of ours is that it had to look like furniture because it's going in our living room. So we used some 2-part epoxy to attach the genuine AstroTurf to the perch. Press that firmly down and then place it, measure it out for precision accuracy, and screw it on. Followed by your leash ring. Use a little bit of wood glue to lock that in. And again, thank you so much Adam Davis of toothandtalon.com for this aluminum cutout of our logo. The perfect touch. Now we use your skill saw set at an angle to cut out how you're going to attach it to the wall in your muse or living room. So you have one angle facing down, and then you're going to attach another board at the bottom just to keep it all flush with each other, and then you have your opposite angle facing up attached to your living room wall. Make sure that's perfectly level. Use long wood screws straight into your studs. And then set it in place and drop it down. And that pretty much wraps this up. Thanks for watching.